Hello everyone and welcome to the Manufacturer Series 2019. It's the official championship now and this is round 1. We're at Interlagos and of course it's the new physics as well. Unfortunately for us, Interlagos is not a front wheel drive friendly circuit, but the nice thing is we actually get 2 flying laps. You can see we've done a 1:38.7 in that right hand side there. Really we should have got our fast lap on that lap because obviously the tyre is going to go down a little bit during this lap. But the nice thing is we can at least do 2 flyers. So, you know, in the past we'd have had to have just kept that and just been like, wow, okay, that's it. But this time we get that extra lap. So we're going to try and improve on that. We are looking for around a 38.0. That was possible in the Audi TT. Let's see what happens here. We're only just up in that sector. The first sector there by half a tenth as we come up to this really complex section. This is where the Audi TT really loses out now. Going uphill, all the weight as we accelerate up the hill. Of course, it's going to the rear. And the front wheels just have no traction. So coming into here now, we're also going in slow corners. The Audi TT, very downforce focused car. You've seen the big wing on it. It's got a massive splitter on the front as well. Again, struggling in this slower section as we head up to this right-hander and we turn in. We are looking for that slipstream off JM Brie if possible as we leave that corner now and head down the hill up to 3rd gear and then up to 4th. Quick short shift there to try and make sure we get around the corner without that much understeer. And we are 3 tenths up here as we approach the final corner. Through there we go. We get on the throttle as fast as we can. Now you're probably going, Tidge, why have you got traction control on? Traction control was very helpful out the corners. Then I turn it off on the straight. So if you've watched my driving school about acceleration, you'll realise that traction control actually costs you about half a tenth on every gear change. So if we turn it off on the straights, use it in the corners, should be happy days. As we head towards the line, we get a 38.3, so not the greatest. Not a bad actual second lap, to be fair. I didn't really get much faster on the second lap than that, but unfortunately I didn't get faster on the first lap. As you can see, we're miles off there. But let's actually have a look where we are starting because it's a little bit far back. Slenton Pole there in the Mazda, trying to help out Akagi there with Tuscany in P2 in that F-Type. P3 there for Stefanzi in the Hyundai. P4 for Garassa in that Mustang. Ford really coming dominant this season. P5 there for Mercedes. P6 for that Toyota. And then another Ford there in P7. P8, another Mustang, it's Key. And P9 for the Lexus. So you can see Ford really getting a big push here in terms of, you know, the manufacturer representation. It really is in there. And we've still not come to myself yet. P14 there for Nico. There you can see the Audi TT. P15. Definitely not a front wheel drive circuit. A lot of front wheel drive cars were really struggling here. A bit unfortunate to be honest, but hey, it is what it is. We're just here to try and enjoy the race and try and have a good race. What we found as well is towards the end of the race, the last 2 laps especially, really this car got destroyed because of the tyre wear. While tyre wear has been reduced massively, and I thank Polyphony Digital massively for reducing it and allowing us to actually race again, and you will see racing in this video. It's still a little bit too high for me. It needs to be the lower end of the digits, or alternatively a lot lower in the digits and a lot longer in the race, because the race is only like 15 to 18 minutes long. In fact, one of the other races I think was 14 minutes. It's very low in terms of race time. It's actually quicker than the daily races at points, it now feels, and I don't think that should be the case. It should be FIA here. It should be longer races. But let's get to that race. You can see 2 penalties up ahead for B Racer and Nico as well. That's for running wide and cutting the chicane at the centre S. We come into this left-hander. We know we're going to try and make positions very quickly. Now, at the start of the race, this TT is going to be fantastic. We've got a lot of pace in the car, of course. Weight actually doesn't affect it that much, so obviously the very start of the race we are very quick. B-Racer decides to give that up with the penalty. We go on the inside and we get that position. So upper position already, P14. We need to get as far up this field as we can. We can see a lot of the field there. JM Brie leading the pack, I believe there. This pack that we're approaching with Nico just ahead with that penalty. As we come through that left-hander, we accelerate again up to this right-hander. And you see everyone is very close here at this point. It's all very nice and dandy, but let's accelerate a little bit further on in the race now. There we go, and you can see Kelsa and Nico side by side. Nico's taking his penalty, and Kelsa had a penalty as well. So we're coming into here, and we're on the tail end of this big group. huge group here. That's being led by Key now. JM Bree, I think there's just accelerated a little bits of contact here, there, and everywhere. All getting a bit dicey, but at least it's racing, eh, guys? At least it's racing. Through there we go, and head up again to this right-hander. And JM Bree actually now leading the train. Key's caught up to him there. But, you know, the nice thing here, we can actually race. A little bit of contact there between Kelso and Nico. Nothing major there. Just trying to get around the corner as best as we can. Forward drive, obviously not the best round corners. Same as the front-wheel drive cars, really, as we continue on towards this left-hander. And the nice thing about the front-wheel drive cars, a lot of pace on the straights. Cars really struggle to overtake this car on the straights. You need a bloody good run out of a corner. So we accelerate up the hill. You can see how the initial run out the corner is horrible for us. But watch us start closing in Calster. Just irrespective of Calster being in the slipstream, you can see that gap now coming down very, very quickly. Look at that, 3.5 tenths. Gained over a tenth already. It's still coming down, still coming down, still coming down, still coming down. So we head towards that braking zone, getting very close to Calster. So obviously our only overtaking spot really is for a good dive here, there, or everywhere. Nico runs wide at that first corner there. We're going to come through this left-hander now. It's going to be 2-car wide here, and then we get to pick where do we want to go. Calster, Nico ahead of us. Nico's obviously had a really bad run out the centre S as Calster goes towards the inside. We're now behind Nico, so we're looking for the cutback a little bit. Calster goes to the right side, but right under the braking, Calster moves back to the left. Now, I did say on stream that that was very, very risky. A little bit of tap there from Calster, and Calster's gone through. Now, as I say, that was very risky of Calster. Very, very, very risky. As we're looking to the inside of Nico, I'll get back onto that in a second. We don't quite do it. We're going to get on the inside. We're suffering from understeer, so if we put the power down, we're going to hit Nico, so unfortunately don't get that done. And then we're coming into these sharp, tight corners, and we can't really do anything in the TT. So going back to that Calster thing, just under the braking there, if I was even a tiniest bit closer, I'd have speared Calster to Narnia. Fortunately, that wasn't the case. Calster didn't realise how fast the TT was, he said afterwards. So all good in the end, but my word. Scary moment or what? Imagine that live. And speaking of live, you can watch that in the description, by the way. I forgot to mention that at the start. As always, the link is in the description. And sorry for no TV camera. The replay just didn't work, and I couldn't save it as well, I don't believe. And nobody else uploaded it. It is what it is. Let's continue on now, heading up the hill. TRL Aug right behind us. This way our handling cars have a really good, run out that last corner. Obviously, the front-wheel drive cars are terrible out there. But look, Aug can't actually get anywhere close to us. Look how much of gap he's losing here. I'm in the slipstream of the car in front, and Aug can't do a damn thing about it. Coming into the braking zone again. We're just trying to get as close as we can because he doesn't have a penalty up ahead by Devil Soul. A 5-second penalty there for Devil Soul. So we should get past again, make another position. We started in P15, currently P14. Let's see what happens here. So we come down this first sector, the end of the first sector. Devil Soul on the left hand side. These two going side by side into this corner here. Side by side. Not a very good place to go side by side. There's a little bit of contact there. A little bit more. And we're going to try and get round as best as we can. Oh, we tapped Calster a little bit there. We did get worried about a penalty. But fortunately, we didn't get one. Thank goodness for that, because that would have been scary. But we do make that position up. Now, TRL Aug has been putting up a lot of pressure on these last few laps. So we're going to see Aug start to catch up to us again. I mean, look at that. Aug hasn't caught up to us by the end of the straight here. And we do struggle out that last corner as well. So we come into the centre S now. We're going to have to try and manage our tyre wear a little bit now. We've been racing quite hard to try and gain positions. P11 at this moment in time. What can we do? We're getting 3 positions on that previous clip. And Aug looking for a way past here. Look at it, he does hardly gains at all. We have to go to the radar. So Aug decides against it, coming into this left-hander. So we turn in. Just clip that curb and try and accelerate as fast as we can. Look at the radar. Look how much Aug catches us up. He's trying all sorts to get past here. Just gets his nose on the inside of the TT there. Very good move by Aug, which means I'm going to have to give him space. Coming up to this right-hander, and I do that. I'm trying to then pull back in as fast as I can to avoid losing any other positions. So we get that done. We do lose one position, but you know, we're surviving a little bit here, and we can always think about the straight on the start-finish line, of course. Remember, that's where the strength is of this TT, and Aug struggles there as well. We've just got to stay with Aug up until that point. We've got RC Racer behind us now in that Nissan GTR, which is another very fast car. And it looks like Beat Racer is looking to try and overtake Racer there on the radar. We haven't seen the footage of that, unfortunately, as we don't have the TV camera. We can see Aug is pulling away in the handling sections now. Can we actually catch up to Aug? So we come into this last corner again. Through there we go. We're going to try and put our foot down. We're trying. Just outside that slipstream at the moment. We're going to come straight back into it here. Look at the pace that we'll have now. Look at this gap start to reduce. Down to 6 tenths. Now to 5 tenths. Honestly, this thing just drops gaps for days. Look at this. Absolutely dropping out here. It's actually unbelievable how quick this TT is as we approach the first corner, but we need the pace because of the tyre wear. Oh, just give Alg a slight tap there. That was just because we outbroke ourselves. We had that much of an overspeed. Through there we go now, an RC Racer right on our tail here. We're going to try and keep this position. We've got the slipstream ahead of Alg, which is always helpful, but you can see the understeer now. Come on now, get back over, get back over, get back over. Thank you very much, Alg. Let's keep this position as we head now down towards this corner. Look at the radar. RC Racer backs off initially, then goes for it. Let's off the brake a little bit. Make sure to get that apex. Just nudges out wide here a little bit. That was a move I didn't actually expect. He did apologise after, but to be fair, it's a fair move. It is a fair move. He hit the apex. He made the apex. Even without me there, I just misread it because he backed off initially and then released the brake. So it's a good move. Unfortunately for us, that's cost us a few positions here. At least 3 positions. We've got Kalsa on our outside, trying to go around the outside as well. 2x2 into this sharp section. Not very helpful for us at all as we then go into the left-hander. Kalsa was still there. We've got this position back, thankfully, as we leave that corner now. And we've got Nico and Kalsa all over the back of me here. And I can't do anything at this point. The tyres are so much worn versus other cars that I'm just trying to survive at this point. The front tyres are not gripping. Kalsa trying to go down the inside there. Does he get it done? He does indeed. What a move by Kalsa down the left-hand side there as we head towards the last corner now. And we're just hoping the slipstream can help us survive this. We don't want to come in last, but we can't do anything about it. We're actually having a good race here. We just can't do anything about it just due to the tyre wear. I said I won't complain about it, but it does need to go a little bit lower. And this isn't a front-wheel drive track either, so we're in a really weak situation here as we continue on. You can see me there talking about it in the live stream as we continue on. Look, we're catching this Lamborghini. An Audi TT out-dragging the Lamborghini here as we head towards the first corner again. I try and go for the move down the inside, and it just gets a little bit tight here. Indie Food sort of wouldn't have seen me. So then Kalsa goes into me because Indie Food's there as well, and Kalsa gets a 4-second penalty. Now, I'm in really too hard about whether to give this back. I was a little unsure on live stream as well, to be honest, because one part of me says that was a fair move, but then I couldn't have done anything about it, and then 3 wide into that corner doesn't really go, so should I have given it back? Let me know in your comments, guys. Let me know in the comments. I'm all about racing at the end of the day. We're not losing anything at the grand scheme of it at the back of the grid because of the amount of points we get. It's a bit pointless anyway, so we're just racing for fun. So you can see again 3 wide coming to this right-hander as well. So lots of 3 wide moments going on here right at the back of the grid, but at least we're getting racing, as I say. We just get past Nico there as we head towards this right-hander again. I do feel for Kalsa that 4-second penalty. In my opinion, he shouldn't have just, there should be no penalty there. It's just a racing incident. Kalsa didn't lose out at the end of the day apart from the 4-second penalty, and we should just continue on. There is an issue there with the penalty system. I know GT Alex and Jomas and Kenny have all done a video on this, a combined video, just to explain how it actually works. And it's basically because I lose out to the person in front, it just gives the penalty. That's the way it works in a nutshell. And you can see we're in P18 now. Of course, Kalsa's going to lose that position. 4-second penalty. We saw what happened to Devil Soul, who is ahead of us, by the way. That's how much that car's OP on tyres. As we continue on, we're just going to advance to the last lap now because we do lose with the pack. Kalsa flashing me there. It doesn't really matter between me and Kalsa at the end of the day. Should I give it back? I'm not sure because I don't feel like that was my fault. I think if there was 2 other drivers, potentially it might have been a little bit better. I'm not sure. Who knows? But that's going to be the end of the race, guys. Literally P17. That's all I could do, and the points dreadful. I can't believe that. I was like rank 1 billion in the region, even in Top Spit Lobby. That's it for me for now. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.